In 2026, the Great Migration within the U.S. has hit a wall of reality. Millions of Americans, lured by viral infographics showing low taxes or affordable housing, are discovering that many states are expert at hiding their flaws behind a glossy statistical curtain. Whether it's a zero-income tax that is offset by astronomical property levies or a high quality of life that only exists if you have a seven-figure income, these 12 states are often a shock to the system once you're actually paying the bills. Here are the 12 U.S. states that look fine on paper until you actually live there in 2026. 1. Florida, the insurance trap. The reality. On paper, Florida is a tax haven paradise with no state income tax and year-round sun. However, in 2026, the Sunshine State is facing a catastrophic homeowners insurance crisis. Many residents are finding that the money they save on income tax is entirely consumed by insurance premiums that have tripled in 5 years, if they can even find a carrier willing to cover them. Add in the Gulf Coast Insurance Challenge, where flood coverage is becoming a luxury of the elite, and the cost of living suddenly eclipses most northern states. Behind the palm trees lies a hidden financial burden that is pricing out the middle class. 2. Texas, the property tax punch. The reality. Texas markets itself as the land of the affordable American dream, but the paper benefits are highly misleading. While there is no state income tax, Texas has some of the highest effective property tax rates in the country. In 2026, many new residents are experiencing appraisal shock, as the rapid rise in home values has sent their annual tax bills into the tens of thousands. Furthermore, the state's decentralized power grid and privatized utilities mean that when extreme weather hits, residents are often hit with surge pricing, utility bills that can wipe out a month's savings in a week. 3. Colorado, the mountain resort penalty. The reality. Colorado looks like an outdoor lover's paradise with a robust tech economy. However, the reality in 2026 is a state divided by extreme wealth inequality. Outside of the luxury enclaves, infrastructure is struggling to keep up with the population boom. The mountain resort penalty means that even in suburbs far from the slopes, groceries and services are priced for tourists, not residents. Traffic congestion on I-70 has become a permanent fixture, turning a weekend getaway into an 8-hour ordeal. For many, the Rocky Mountain High is eclipsed by the stress of an ultra-competitive, high-cost housing market. 4. Washington, the regressive tax burden. The reality. Washington state attracts high earners with its lack of income tax and booming aerospace and tech sectors. But on the ground, Washington has one of the most regressive tax systems in the nation. To fund the state, sales taxes are exceptionally high, and hidden taxes on gasoline and liquor are among the steepest in the U.S. In 2026, the cost of living in the Puget Sound area has become so prohibitive that even six-figure earners feel like they are just getting by. The pristine nature is often blocked by a wall of high-density, high-priced urban sprawl. 5. North Carolina, the infrastructure lag. The reality. North Carolina is frequently ranked as a top state for business and a best value. While the taxes are moderate, the state's infrastructure is buckling under the weight of thousands of new residents moving in every month. In 2026, residents in the Research Triangle and Charlotte report that school systems are over capacity and road projects are years behind schedule. The nature plus city balance often results in a best of neither scenario, where you live in a suburban sprawl that lacks the amenities of a major city, but is too congested to feel like the countryside. 6. Idaho, the price-out phenomenon. The reality. Idaho was the secret, affordable state of the 2010s, but that secret is long gone. On paper, it still looks more affordable than California, but locally, it has seen the highest home price appreciation in the country relative to local wages. In 2026, many Boise locals have been completely priced out of their own neighborhoods. The state's rugged individualism often means a lack of public services and public transit, forcing every resident into a long, expensive car-based commute. The culture shock for many newcomers is the realization that the cheap Idaho of the past no longer exists. 7. Nevada, the education and health void. The reality. Nevada looks great on paper for retirees and remote workers due to zero income tax and low property taxes. However, the hidden cost is found in the state's underfunded public services. In 2026, Nevada consistently ranks near the bottom for healthcare access and K-12 education quality. While you might save money on taxes, you may end up spending that surplus on private schooling or traveling out of state for specialized medical care. The low tax rate is a direct trade-off for a social infrastructure that many residents find dangerously thin once they need it. 8. Arizona, the water and heat liability. The reality: Arizona's growth has been explosive, driven by affordable land and sunshine. But in 2026, the water crisis is no longer a future prediction, it's a daily reality. New housing developments are facing construction bans due to lack of verified water sources, and the cost of air conditioning during 5-month-long heat waves has become a second mortgage. Residents who move for the outdoor lifestyle find themselves trapped indoors for half the year, as urban heat islands make many Phoenix suburbs virtually uninhabitable during the day. The affordable desert life comes with a high climate adjustment price tag. 9. Oregon, the service and safety gap. The reality: Oregon offers a progressive, nature-rich lifestyle that looks incredibly attractive to those escaping the chaos of larger metros. However, 2026 resident feedback highlights a growing dissatisfaction with state services. High-income taxes do not seem to translate into well-maintained public spaces or effective safety nets in major cities like Portland. Many residents feel they are paying California prices but receiving third-world infrastructure. The state's natural beauty is undeniable, but the social and administrative challenges make daily life feel far more difficult than the brochures suggest. 10. Illinois, the debt legacy burden. The reality: Illinois has some of the most vibrant urban and suburban communities in the Midwest. But on paper, it is a fiscal minefield. In 2026, the state's unfunded pension debt is being felt by every resident through some of the highest property and junk taxes in the nation. You might find a beautiful, affordable home in a Chicago suburb, only to realize the annual property tax bill is 3% or 4% of the home's value. Residents often feel they are paying for the ghosts of past mismanagement, with little of their tax dollars going toward future-facing infrastructure or improvements. 11. New Jersey, the excellence overcharge. The reality: New Jersey ranks at the top for education and healthcare, two things that look amazing on a best states list. But living there in 2026 feels like being taxed for every breath. It is the most densely populated state, meaning traffic is unavoidable and space is a high-cost luxury. The property taxes are legendary, often exceeding $15,000 annually for a modest suburban home. While the services are excellent, the exit fee, high cost to live and eventually leave, makes it one of the most financially draining states in the country for middle-income families. 12. California, the everything premium. The reality: California is the most beautiful and economically powerful state in the union, but it is the ultimate paper versus reality trap. In 2026, the cost of living index is 142.2, nearly 50% higher than the national average. It has the highest gas prices, the second lowest homeownership rate, and a tax system that targets everyone from the working class to the ultra-rich. The dream of living by the coast is often met with the reality of 2-hour commutes from far-flung suburbs because the coastal cities have become exclusive enclaves for the global elite. The lesson of 2026 is that there is no free lunch in American geography. A state that lacks an income tax will almost certainly take that money back through property taxes, sales taxes, or higher insurance premiums. A state with a low cost of living often lacks the healthcare and education infrastructure required for a modern family. As we have discussed with salt brands and collagen powders, the most marketed benefit is often a distraction from a hidden liability. Before moving to a state because it looks fine on paper, talk to the locals who are actually paying the bills. True affordability isn't found on a spreadsheet. It's found in a community that can actually support its residents without hidden traps.